Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are, Hudson County View live and uncut. While we are not able to be in the studio today, we are still doing a live broadcast, as you can clearly see. Obviously, I'm your host, as always, John R. Hydus, and clearly everybody is anxious and I'm sure interested in hearing about the latest COVID-19 updates in Hudson County and beyond. So, of course, a big one that we want you to be cognizant of is that President Donald Trump has issued a declaration of emergency for New Jersey, which means that the Federal Emergency Management Agency will be able to provide greater assistance to the Garden State. This comes after Governor Phil Murphy, who is a Democrat, I'm sure you all know President Trump is a Republican, made the request on just 2 days ago. That was Tuesday. And now it looks like that partnership is going to extend into the weeks and months to come. So we're going to tell you all about that. This news comes just about one day after Governor Murphy announced that the Meadowlands Exposition Center will be one of the first locations for a field pop-up hospital in Secaucus. Actually, that's going to be the first active one in the state, as well as two locations coming to Addison and Atlantic City. Currently, there's over 330 cases of the coronavirus in Hudson County, so we're going to tell you about that as well, of course. But, Governor Phil Murphy is about to go on himself at a press conference, and those numbers, I'm sure, are going to be updated, and obviously they're going to increase. We're seeing those numbers spike across the state as those tallies are coming in from new testing sites, including the one at Hudson Regional Hospital in Secaucus. Now we also know that there is one in Bayonne that started today. That's the Memorial Stadium. And also, Mayor Fulop, just moments before we went on air, announced two locations in Jersey City. So we're going to talk about that as well. And if there's time, I also want to fill you in on a couple governmental and political happenings as well. So stick with us. We're going to take our first commercial break.
Byrnes Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Byrnes Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Byrnes Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net. The Jersey City Medical Center. You know it for its award-winning, life-saving ambulance service. It's also your health hub, with health and wellness locations staffed with certified professionals all through Hudson County. The Jersey City Medical Center, here to help you with your healthy, here when you need us the most. The Jersey City Medical Center. Visit us on the net to learn more. Jersey City Medical Center, Robert Wood Johnson, Barnabas Health Facility. Let's be healthy together. It's 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants, all major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-27.
All right, Hudson County View live and uncut. John R. Hydus. So first, before we get into the nitty-gritty local stuff, I did want to just talk a little bit about that major disaster declaration by President Trump. Obviously, this is not something that you see every day. This realistically could be the one and only time we see it in our lifetimes. So given that, I think it's important to spend a few moments. So the Federal Emergency Management Agency, most of us know them as FEMA, made an announcement this morning at about 10:45 a.m. So let me tell you a little bit about what it says and Governor Murphy's reaction. So FEMA said, the president's action makes federal funding available for crisis counseling for affected individuals in all areas of the state of New Jersey. Federal funding is also available to the state and eligible local governments and certain private nonprofit organizations on a cost-sharing basis for emergency protective measures, which is category B, including direct federal assistance under public assistance for all areas affected by COVID-19 at a federal cost share of 75%. Now, obviously, the governor who asked for this, as I just said at the top of the show, was quite pleased. This declaration will allow us to lift remaining bureaucratic barriers to assistance and enhance our statewide response to COVID-19. I am grateful to the Federal Emergency Management Agency for their collaboration and coordination in supporting our response and recovery efforts to COVID-19 in New Jersey. And on Twitter, he directly thanked the president as well as Vice President Mike Pence, and of course, like you just did, FEMA for their efforts. So this is big. I mean, this is something again that comes less than a day after that pop-up hospital location announced at the Meadowlands Exposition Center in Secaucus. Governor Murphy said yesterday that that will bring 250 beds online, and overall, 1,000 beds will be coming online in the next month in conjunction with that new location in Edison, as well as another location in Atlantic City. That there's going to be 2 testing locations coming to the city. This makes a lot of sense given that there's 130 cases as of this morning. Also, the mayor noted that there has been a death at Christ Hospital, as well as 2 other potential deaths. Those are still being investigated, but the initial probe seems to indicate that COVID-19 was likely the cause. So for those of you that didn't see the tweet yet, the mayor said that there will be a walk-up testing center coming to 465 Merritt Boulevard, and that the drive-through location will be at the former DPW complex. That's 575 Route 440. So obviously that's good news for anyone in Jersey City that's been experiencing symptoms and wants to get tested. So there are contingencies, of course, like everything else. There needs to be an appointment made, and there also needs to be a pre-screening where, basically this would make sense for you to get tested for anybody. So, we're going to have more information on that full story, of course, when this program concludes. And for those of you that aren't in Jersey City and you still are interested in getting tested, because that, is a resident-only program, there is a countywide program in Secaucus at the Hudson Regional Hospital that started on Monday. They tested, I believe it was 88 patients on Monday. Then on Tuesday, they were in about 130-ish range, and they have the capacity to do 200 a day. So that is, at the Hudson Regional Hospital. That's 55 Meadowlands Parkway. Again, appointment only, and that is strictly drive-through testing. And there is also another appointment-only center not far away in Bayonne, and that's at the Donna Hearns Memorial Stadium, and that's open from 10 to approximately 3:30. All other business at that facility is going to be suspended while they're doing testing, as you can imagine, for the safety of both the healthcare professionals, the patients, and any other staffers and any other really individuals that are going to be making contact with the stadium. So that's important to note. So on top of that, I will give you guys the statistics that I'm going to say we're good as of 1:30 p.m. These are the statistics that are released by each individual municipality. So as a total in Hudson County, there was over 300 cases. You had 130 coming from Jersey City, 47 coming from North Bergen, 40 from Hoboken, 34 from Union City, 27 from Bayonne, 23 from West New York, 17 from Weehawken, 7 from Secaucus, 6 from Kearney, and 1 from Guttenberg. And Jersey City, Bayonne, and Kearney have each self-reported fatalities as due to complications from the virus. There are 7 fatalities as a total based on municipal, county, and statewide data, the statewide data coming from the New Jersey Department of Health. With that, we're going to take another commercial break. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
Good Friend Self-Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer a Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self-Storage. Let us be your good friend.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers the quality of life you deserve in 10 high-rise rental towers with amenities such as the on-site Newport Path subway, light rail and ferry service, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Sears, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams Supermarket is just outside your front door. A health and fitness club, spa, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. NewportNJ.com. Enjoy the New York skyline from Newport Town Square. Manhattan is just one path stop away or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Want to visit Newport? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. Go to NewportNJ.com for details. Newport has luxurious towers, great restaurants, shopping, New York skyline views, schools, playgrounds, a marina and yacht club, gym, spa, fine wine, fine living. It's incredible. It's you. NewportNJ.com. Newport, live like you want.
Hudson County View live at Uncut, John Arhitis. So we just got a press release, probably literally as I was just speaking to you during that last segment, regarding the Jersey City testing location. So let me just give you some updated information there. It says that both sites will follow an appointment-only system with proof of address, such as a recent phone, electric, or gas bill upon arrival. Any resident who has been exposed to the virus and are exhibiting symptoms like a dry cough, fever, or shortness of breath is asked to call the COVID call center at 201-547-5535 to make an appointment. And it says both testing sites in the call center will be open 7 days a week from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So again, important information for Jersey City residents. I would say approximately 40% of the coronavirus cases have been in that municipality. Obviously, the county's largest municipality and expected to be the largest in the state after the U.S. Census this year. So certainly something that I'm sure people are going to take advantage of. So obviously quite newsworthy. With that, I also wanted to talk about a new phone line, another story that we had this morning, maybe even this afternoon. I mean, it's been incredibly busy, as you guys can see. There's just really been no shortage of happenings in Hudson County these days. But the important part is we wanted to tell you about a non-emergency phone line that's been set up by the Jersey City Police Department. Now, in the 90s, so a little before something called the Union, to designate a small group of officers to handle nonviolent and non-emergency calls to generate police reports, and also free up other officers to deal with those street patrol and emergency response calls. So this is something that Police Chief Michael Kelly had mentioned on Sunday. You guys probably remember that there was a press conference in front of the East Precinct where they were talking about new measures, new protocols, I guess I should really say, for their first responders, both those police officers and firefighters, in light of 2 police officers testing positive for COVID-19. And actually, just as a quick refresher, that'll include no more roll calls, staggered time slots, meaning that officers will be coming and leaving in 10-minute increments of each other so that there won't be face-to-face contact, as well as riding in convoy, meaning that there'll be no more 2-man partners in the cars. It'll be basically one car in front of the other, following each other, trying to reduce contact as much as possible. And of course, probably goes without saying at this point, but I'll say it anyway, that the cars and the precincts will be cleaned daily. So with that said, the original breaking part of the story is with the influx of the 911 calls, there is that new non-emergency number, so I'll give it to you right now. That's 201-547-5477. And if you call this number, the officer will generate an official report that will be made available to the caller within 5 days. And basically, if you still need an officer to respond to your location, they will still obviously honor that request. Michael Kelly said on Sunday that, even with the pandemic, they're still going to continue to do business as usual, protect and serve. So, don't hesitate to call that new line or the general line. If you guys have an emergency and need police assistance, certainly not a time to hesitate. So with that in mind, I'm going to just check on the governor's press conference to see if there's any new information. So I think it bears repeating that there's a testing update. He just tweeted on Saturday, the COVID-19 testing sites at Bergen County Community College and PNC Arts Center will accept only symptomatic healthcare workers and first responders. And then on Sunday, which is the 29th, these sites will move to a new schedule. And then starting Saturday, April 4th, and every Saturday to follow, the PNC Arts Center will be dedicated to symptomatic healthcare workers and first responders with valid credentials only. So obviously that's outside of Hudson County, but given the amount of people that are having symptoms and given the amount of people that want to be tested, I think it's relevant for you guys to know what's going on across the state. And on another point, you guys have seen a number of school districts, for example, Bayonne, which unfortunately 14-year-old 8th grader test positive for virus. You've also seen North Bergen and Jersey City announce that they're closing through likely at least April 17th, with the return date being April 20th. The governor says the decision to reopen school districts rests with me. We will not be prepared to revisit the closure until at least April 17th at the very earliest. So not a surprise. I mean, a lot of people are already planning, whether they be parents, guardians, friends, a lot of people preparing like this school year is likely going to be finished remotely. Certainly, we don't want to jump the gun on that. There's no confirmation, but that's something that people are preparing for, and it sounds like the governor is telling us, listen, this is not something that's going to be resolved shortly. So certainly, everybody stay on top of their homeschooling and other programs. So, and like Google Classroom, I know is being utilized in a number of the districts. We're obviously going to give you as many district by district breakdowns as we can as they become available. So on top of that, it goes without saying social distancing. Obviously, I could have made the trip to the studio today. It's only about 12 minutes or so away by car, but out of respect for the staff over at Hudson Media Group, as well as, my friends and my family that I'm still encountering, we want to make sure that everybody has as much social distancing as possible. We're trying to pick and choose the amount of press events we attend. So again, social distancing, incredibly important. I mean, I know you guys have all heard it a million and one times, but just really want to put that out there. Try to only go out if it's absolutely necessary. Walk your dog. You have to buy groceries. You have to pick up dinner from a restaurant. Maybe you're delivering groceries for a family at high risk. Maybe you want to go on a jog to clear your head. But, to just go out on a joyride and kill some time, that's not really the point that we're at based on our municipal, state, and federal officials. So, again, obviously it's boring, but we got to get ahead of this thing. And that seems to be what most of our officials, if not really all at this point, are trying to do, getting on the same page. And, there's plenty on Netflix. I'm sure you've all heard about Tiger King. I just saw the end of it. It's definitely worth your while, but that's here nor there. So with that, we're going to take another break. I'll talk to you in a few minutes.
Pen & Pencil Properties, Jersey City. Shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces that address your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment. Adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at penandpencilproperties.com. Pen & Pencil Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Rama Jewelers, located in the Lyndhurst Shopping Center at 413 Valley Brook Avenue, Lyndhurst. Come for all your jeweler needs at Rama Jewelers, where you will find a fine selection of necklaces, earrings, rings, and bracelets. Choose from one of our complete sets, our many signature items, or find the perfect engagement ring. Come on down. That's Rama Jewelers at 413 Valley Brook Ave, Lyndhurst. Call 201-939-5784 or visit us online today.
Hudson County View, live at Uncut. John Arhitis. So, like I said, obviously our thoughts, our minds, our hearts, all dedicated to the coronavirus right now, and certainly we don't plan on slowing down the coverage on that anytime soon. But we do also still want to bring you the most comprehensive government and political news in Hudson County. So, I did want to take a brief aside to talk about a couple other things, if I may. So, if you'll indulge me, there was still a Jersey City Council meeting on Wednesday evening, just last night. It was actually at an hour, but that's a virtual session, as we've already seen much shorter meetings in places like Kearney, places like Hoboken, the Union City Board of Education, which typically not a very long meeting anyway. But these remote meetings really tend to get down to the bare bones and really get to brass tacks quickly. But with that said, I think the important thing is that the Jersey City Council okayed a $918,000 contract with the Jersey City Employment and Training Program. Now, Board E Councilman James Solomon was really adamant that this was not a deal that the governing body should approve. The reason for that is because, as you guys are well aware, there is pending litigation between our former employee, that's Nuria Sierra, against Sudan Thomas, who of course is the former acting executive director. Now, this is a whistleblower case. She says she was fired after she blew the whistle on financial improprieties, including writing checks to cash. And since then, the U.S. Attorney's Office of embezzling dollars from the agency. Of course, that case is pending. And the Sierra case, which again is a civil complaint, is in mediation. So during the session, Solomon was quite adamant that there needs to be indemnification, basically reimbursement in the event that JSEP has to pay out this a lawsuit settlement, which again, there is not one yet. But if there is a settlement, he feels like the city would be on the hook, and needless to say, he doesn't want that to happen. So let me just through a little bit of what he said at that meeting. So my concern is if we proceed without indemnification, and she wrote us all a letter, the full council asking for us to indemnify. If we proceed without indemnification, there's no way for us to guarantee that she is made whole. That either the money comes out of this JSEP grant, but if it doesn't come out of the grant, then it comes out of where? Seems like a reasonable question. And Business Administrator Brian Platt said that going forward, they could talk about adding further protections for whistleblowers into future contracts, but it, according to Solomon, and perhaps some of you may agree, may disagree, but according to Solomon, it doesn't seem to resolve the issue at hand. And he says it'll be the second time that the city doesn't do right by that, and I don't feel comfortable with that. So in the end, the resolution, long story short, ended up being approved 6-1, and only Solomon voted no. Councilman Rolando Lavaro, who you guys are probably aware, told us on Monday he was experiencing coronavirus-like symptoms, as well as Ward D Councilman Michael Youd were not present for the meeting. And also, I don't think I said, so let me just be clear about what the resolution was for. So that's actually going to be an agreement between the City of Jersey City and the Jersey City Employment and Training Program, $918,280, designated JSEP as the administrative entity for the local workforce innovation and opportunity area. So certainly that's an interesting story that is probably going to get lost in the shuffle. You know, this whole chaos that is pertaining to COVID-19, but still wanted to make you aware that that was something that happened yesterday that could be significant. And another thing about Jersey City municipal government that might be significant is, I believe it was also yesterday, I mean, days are just blending together at this point, but I know that Mayor Fulop said that the city is preparing for a $70 million budget loss, $50 million coming from unexpected and unforeseen circumstances, which I think is probably a lot of overtime, but we're not exactly sure on what that's going to entail. But overtime, indefinitely one of those aspects. But so with that, I mean, you have this tremendous revenue shortage that is happening throughout the state, throughout the country. Of course, it's not just municipal governments, it's not just county governments, it's also those small business owners and how many countless private sector jobs. But particularly concerning in Jersey City, because that school board budget, it's about $736 million, is coming with a 47% tax increase. Now, we've heard that this would be about less than $50 a month for a house assessed at approximately $452,000, but that's still $688 for the year. Don't know what the county tax and what the city tax is going to be. So, certainly it looks like that Jersey City could eventually, ultimately use a hand from their state and federal partners costs. Obviously, is dealing with that as they have been for a couple years now because of a lack of state funding. But obviously this is a fluid situation that's going to involve a lot of creativity and a lot of people working hand in hand, side by side, as we did when the payroll tax got up to $86 million. That was just a couple weeks ago, but now with the pandemic, it doesn't seem like that's at all realistic anymore. So who knows what's going to happen there. But again, the Jersey City finance is something we want to keep an eye on. So with that, we're going to take one more commercial break. We'll talk to you in a minute.
You know those times when you need to see the doctor, but you just can't get to the doctor? So where do you go? Go to the App Store, download the Telemed app from RWJ Barnabas Health, and you see the doctor right away. From any mobile device, whenever you want, wherever you are.
Quality care, no appointment necessary. The doctor is online when you download the Telemed app.
Don't you feel better already?
RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together.
The Jersey City Medical Center. You know it for its award-winning life-saving ambulance service. It's also your health hub. with health and wellness locations staffed with certified professionals all through Hudson County. The Jersey City Medical Center, here to help you with your healthy, here when you need us the most. The Jersey City Medical Center. Visit us on the net to learn more. Jersey City Medical Center, Robert Wood Johnson, Barnabas Health Facility. Let's be healthy together.
Hudson County View live at Uncut. John Arhitis. And like I said, guys, wanted to give you a little bit on the politics and take your mind off of all the craziness outside for a few minutes. So I think we're going to conclude on this. The Hudson County Democratic Organization, specifically through their chair, Amy DeGees, told me yesterday that those county committee seats that were potentially up on the ballot in June will now be effective through June of 2021. So I'm going to explain to you what that means. This is something is not new. This is something that's already been approved by in Essex County, in Morris County, and I don't want to speak out of turn, but I mean, I know that there's been quite a few others. So this is not uncommon due to the coronavirus pandemic. So let me just read you the statement from Madam Chair Amy DeGees. So as we continue to dedicate all the resources at our disposal to fighting the COVID-19 global pandemic, the New Jersey Democratic State Committee has encouraged all chairs to face re-election this spring. Of course, that primary is on June 2nd. We are truly experiencing an unprecedented health crisis, and with restrictions on face-to-face interaction and mandated social distancing requirements rightfully put in place for the foreseeable future, our local parties and I believe this is a policy we should implement. The resolution we intend to pass will be a one-time, one-year extension only of those members who would be on the ballot in June. Now, like I said, this is not unusual. Other counties, other Democratic committees, I should say, in North Jersey have already implemented this. So, and on top of that, the Bayonne Democratic Committee passed a measure to do this on Monday. So I think that kind of telegraphed that this was going to happen countywide. According to Amy DeGees, the West New York, North Bergen, and Harrison Democratic committees have already agreed to do the same. So this doesn't look like it's going to be unusual. We've heard from Governor Murphy, and we've already seen actually elections that were scheduled for April, which includes West New York, Weehawken, and North Bergen, have been pushed to May 12th. So that's obviously something to keep an eye on as far as elections are concerned. But as far as the June 2nd primary goes, it looks increasingly as the days go by, and while it's not confirmed, that this could be a vote by mail only election. So certainly that would be unprecedented in the state, at least in my time on this earth. I mean, I can't speak about ever, but I mean, I've done a little research on this and even going back several decades, never heard of anything like this. So this could be one of a kind, but for now, the governor hasn't made any calls on that, and he is the only one that has the authority to do so in the state of New Jersey. So, in the event that we do get that vote by mail only election, or in the event that that election date should get pushed, which for the moment seems improbable, we are going to give you all the updates we can as soon as we get them. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, look, I really appreciate you joining us during this critical time. Obviously you could be spending your time doing some Netflix, watching Amazon Prime, working on some crafts and hobbies. And I know, of course, our many appreciated first responders, grocery store workers, etc., and other essential personnel. For you guys who see this later on, thank you so much for everything you do. We're going to continue to bring the latest in Hudson County. Stay healthy, stay safe. We'll see you next week.